Welcome to Sharp or Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the show that makes the square sharper, makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, my companion, my compadre, my BFF, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Chad, how we doing?
Listen, I feel like we ended the weekend the way we started the weekend, being on the wrong side of a game that included missed fourth and goal opportunities, momentum swings. We had the Steelers plus 3.5. We fell to 1-4 in the contest for the opening weekend of the playoffs. I got to tell you, Simon, things were going so badly for us this weekend that in the final 2 minutes and 35 seconds after the Texans scored that pick six to make it 30-6, and at this point, I think they had scored something like 21 points or 14 points, whatever it was, off of defensive touchdowns in the fourth quarter. The plus 3.5 was out of reach, but you and I had both bet the under 39.5 and the under 38.5. We've been telling people to take the under 38.5. I just assumed that at 36 points with 2.5 minutes left, there was enough time that the Steelers were going to have to punt or go for it on fourth down. They had all three timeouts. The Texans were going to end up kicking a field goal, and we were going to lose that total too. That's how I felt things had been going for us this weekend.
Well, Chad, some professional advice. You just flush it, buddy. I'm sorry you just relived all that once again, but I don't care. Whether we go 4-1, 1-4, I sit here Tuesday with the exact same feeling. Can I win again this upcoming week, or can I do better than the week before? So yeah, sucks. But just the same feeling after a winning week, you move on. That's kind of the way this business is. It's what have you done for me lately? So yeah, bad week, but keep it moving. We're on to Divisional Round now, brother.
Last night you were in your feels, and I felt like we were sort of connecting in our emotional distress. I feel the same way you do right now. I was only sharing my feelings last night. As soon as the game was over, I'm like, time to move on. I woke up feeling fresh. I did the Peloton. I took my dog for a walk. I had some calls. Moving on. It's like I'm clean. I'm back to being as arrogant and confident as we can possibly be. For the season, we are now 52-43, thanks to our 1-4 week. Looking at the leaderboard in our Sharp or Square Pro Football Pick'em contest, a new solo leader has emerged. Last week's number one, Nicky Abs, has fallen to second.
Some guys have it all.
I know, right? Reynolds, 311, stands alone at the top at 23 points with just 3 more slates to go. Good luck to everyone playing. All right. As I said, tough wildcard round for us. But as Mike Tomlin would say,
last week was last week. This week was this week. Next week will be next week.
I feel like that's what you just said. It's time to move on. This is our Tuesday Divisional Round show where we'll review the entire slate. As a reminder, we'll have our normal Tuesday and Thursday shows through the end of the week, through the end of the season. For this week, we will do our pre-kickoff episode on Saturday morning with our official contest picks, a Sunday night review show after the Rams-Bears game. You know, we assume that'll be around 10 p.m. Eastern. I, of course, will be in Florida prepping for the Indiana Hoosiers Miami Hurricanes national title game, hoping I can stay awake for the 10 p.m. show. Don't forget, you can get the shows at Sharp or Square on YouTube. Go subscribe and like the video while you're at it. You can also subscribe to Sharp or Square, Apple Pods, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. I don't know, Simon. It's an interesting final grouping of teams. There's no one we can say is totally dominant offensively and defensively. Teams have dominant units. But the teams with the most dominant units, say Seahawks defense, Broncos defense, Texans defense, have inconsistent play at quarterback. Teams with the best quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, have inconsistent complementary units on defense. Feels like it's wide open right now. Wide freaking open. Let's get into it. Buffalo, 1-point home or road favorite at Denver. This is Saturday, January 17th, the first game, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Total was 47. Reminder, the playoff contest includes all totals for all games, sides and totals for all games. Dude, this line's actually bouncing around. There were times when it's been Denver -1. So what do you think?
Yeah, Chad, give me a Denver Broncos, Simon says, +1, brother.
I want to play a game. Simon says.
Simon says Denver Broncos +1. Simon says, presented by Hard Rock Bet, the Denver Broncos +1. Weird game. I want to hear your theories on this. I feel like this is the power of Josh Allen. He's a road favorite against the top seed in the conference. He has no proven number one wideouts against the best defense and one of the best corners in the NFL. And his defense is suspect. And it's definitely a coaching disadvantage. Give me your take.
Yeah, and we talk all the time about you're always thinking, what are they going to make these lines with Josh Allen? Because like we've talked about, he's the best. And I was honestly shocked to see them open this as a favorite. But, the books, they know what they're doing, right? They're trying to take money here on this Bills team. And I do think this line is going to flip to the Broncos being an overwhelming favorite. So I'll give it a stat now. That's probably going to be useless in a couple days if they do flip. But I just want to talk about how historical this is for the Broncos. They're a home dog as the 1 seed. I'm sure you remember the last time this happened. Philadelphia with the dog mask at home against Atlanta.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, Eagles won that game outright. I think they were +2.5 dog.
Yes.
Before that, it was the 49ers. They were 3.5 dog against New Orleans. The 49ers won that game outright. And then before that, in 96, 97, Panthers home dog of 3.5 against Dallas. Carolina won that game outright. So, I'm not the only one of those data points. This is a huge, huge glaring trend flasher for a lot of professionals. So I do think this line will flip just off that. But matchup-wise, you kind of nailed it, Chad. It's defensively, the Jaguars are a very talented team. What's their one thing you could say is lacking? A pass rush. That is not something that's lacking at all for Denver. They get after the quarterback. And, Josh Allen, as great as he has been this year, you've seen some games that he has struggled is when he has a ton of pressure around him, right? He's not able to set into that. And the quick throws, which he, dominated last week with, right? Shakir, I think he had 12 catches on 12 targets for like 80 yards. Though.
I was going to say, I think he 12 catches for -75 yards.
But that's why I love Josh, because it's like he's taking exactly what the defense was giving him, and he kept attacking a guy who was not a good tackler, and he kept getting that 5-6 yards, which we talked in the NFL, that's a huge deal. You saw last night, the Pittsburgh died because they were living in 2nd and 12, 3rd and 12s. Like if you're not in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 against good defenses, you're dead, especially if teams can pin their ears back. So just the matchup wise too, it's hard for me to find reasons to think the Bills will be able to stop this Broncos offense that, they are streaky, but you just nailed it with talking about Sean Payton. Sean Payton on extended time with extended prep. And, the numbers back up my exact sentiment, which I looked it up. And it's like, okay, that all makes sense. Sean Payton, his career, 4-0, straight up in the playoffs when he's extended prep time. That's since 2003. So he's never lost in this exact scenario of having more time to prep. Now, he is 2-2 against the spread. So I guess that does matter in some aspect. But my only fear is right now is just like last week where every game I got the best of the number and I had 0 to show for it, right? You got the 10 on the Rams, dead. Got the Jags as a dog, that flipped, that was dead. Got Green Bay as a dog, that flipped, that was dead. So I am worried about this one because the public has just been crushing it. The Bills are going to be just like those other teams, like the Bears last week and the Bills last week. The public is going to hammer Josh Allen on the road here for good reason, right? All they look at is the quarterbacks. It's going against Bo Nix, who in his career, he lost his first playoff game to this exact same team in Josh Allen. So, for me, it's another one I'm leaning into it, right? I'm taking the best of the number the book's given to me. I know the pros will come on the Broncos as well. And I get it. If you just want to bet loosely, just trust your gut. I totally understand the going the Bills side, but it's not a winner. It's not a long-term winner. Like I said, you're getting a dog here that the public doesn't believe in. and the professionals do. And that usually is a nice spot to be in. So public coming off a 5-1 week, Chad. I think they're going to get crushed this week.
Well, look, that's the trend, right? Like it never stays that way for the public. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just looking up right now. Let me see. What do we got here? We got.
I mean, I can hit you with a ton of stats if you want. I know people like it because, again, we gave it out. If you didn't listen to me and Chad last week, you blindly bet the stat, bet every dog in the wild card round, and bet every under. Both went 4-2.
Yeah.
So it's we make it very complicated for ourselves, but like that's why I give these stats out, because it's like these people make tons of money just betting these stats that have held true for 26 years now. Like it's going back to 2000. So
yeah, I was just going to say somehow the only two teams that didn't cover as dogs were two of the teams we had in the contest, which is just a remarkable bit of. And if you would asked professional bettors going in, they might have said the two teams they liked the most as underdogs were the Chargers and the Steelers. No, what I was just checking was any betting percentages. I saw a slight lean on betting percentages on the Broncos right now. What is your take on the total? 47 to me. This feels to me, we've seen both teams give up a ton of points, and we've seen both teams score an egregious amount of points in the second half in these games. I tend to want to play unders, and we're going to talk about that in a second, but just like eyeballing this feels like an over to me.
That's fair. I'm not going to have a play on it until maybe Thursday, maybe Saturday morning. I'm just not going to grab early lines here without knowing anything about what the weather is, what the condition, because if, like you're saying, if it's 30 degrees, clear skies,
yeah,
I'm with you. Why would you not take the over here? But if it's in the teens, maybe some weather, some wind, yeah, I immediately like that under. Both these teams are happy to lay into the run. We already know that, right? And both these teams are happy to burn the clock. So I'm in no rush to play this one. But like you said, it opened at 47.5, 47. It's already back down to 46.5. So not that shocking to see the professionals coming in there, because we talk about playoffs. Everyone gets tight. It's just the way it is. And that's why I think it was 2-0 to the overs to start on Saturday, and then 4 straight unders, because it's just that's the normal way it usually is, right? Everyone's just so tight. So it's a game where I can hit you with all the trends. It's not that great of a spot technically for Denver if people are bullish on this Bills team. Since 2003 divisional round, these favorites, because they're going to flip to be a favorite, I believe. The Broncos basically at home in the divisional round, 33-44 against the spread. So 43%. That's 3-7 against the spread since 2020. That obviously fits Seattle as well. If you want to make it, I mean, we're going to get the Seattle game. It's even worse for Seattle. If you're a 7-point favorite in the divisional round off a bye, 17-26 against the spread. So 40%. So once again, another just a blind fade spot. So I know I'm asking you a lot here with Denver, but it's as a dog, I think that's a good number just because you're getting ahead of the movement.
Well, that's why it's Simon Says. You know what I mean? All right, listen, Simon, anyone who listens to this show or watches the show knows I'm an Indiana University alumni. Hoosiers! Go IU, fight, fight, fight. Everyone also knows that this Monday night, the Hoosiers, the unstoppable Indiana Hoosiers, are playing the Miami Hurricanes in the 2026 College Football Playoff National Title game at the fabulous and famous Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, the best place to stay. Not too far from where the game is happening is at the unbelievably cool Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. The Guitar Hotel at the Hard Rock totally lives up to the hype. I know this. I've stayed there. I've played there. I've eaten until I could eat no more there. I go all in on the good times and the good food at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And of course, they got the full casino. They got the incredible sports book. It's going to make you want to skip the Florida beaches. Thanks to our friends, our very good friends at Hard Rock. I'm going to be in town for the Indiana-Miami national title game this weekend. I'm going to be roaming around the casino and the sports book, soaking it all in. If you see me, please say hello. When I'm not there, if I happen to leave at any point, I'm going to be using the top-rated Hard Rock Bet app so I can hammer the Hoosiers, because it is the only legal sports betting app available in the state of Florida. Tons of betting markets already live for the game. Get excited, because on Thursday's show, we're going to have a very special guest who's going to help us break down the college football title game. Dude, if you can't tell, I'm freaking out a little bit.
I'm really not thinking about the next game. I'm thinking about cracking open a beer.
Saturday, January 17th, 8 p.m. Eastern, San Francisco at Seattle. Seattle, you just noted, 7.5-point favorite. The total is 45.5. Simon, Chad's Choice, presented by Hard Rock Bet, is going to be the under 45.5. We do have a very recent comp for this game. They played 2 weeks ago. Seahawks dominated 113-3 to win the number 1 seed. And that was when the Niners had George Kittle at tight end. And how often have we seen, Simon, like a good team loses one of its best players, and for the rest of that game, they adjust. They're playing on energy. They're playing on adrenaline. The Niners pulled it out, but they had to use just about every trick in their bag to get past the Eagles. The Seahawks, look, it's arguable that the Texans, the Broncos are the most dominant defense left in the playoffs right now. We talk about sort of imbalanced units against Mike McDonald's defense. The Niners had a 38% success rate, 173 total yards, 3 points. It was the lowest of Kyle Shanahan's career. And I'm stealing this directly from Brandon Anderson, our buddy at Action. Seattle currently ranks number 1 in defensive DVOA, top 2 against both the run and the pass, top 7 versus the middle of the field, motion, play action, under center looks, all core Kyle Shanahan strengths. And on the flip side, it's not like Seattle's offense is a shooting star. So taking the under here.
Don't hate it. I'll be there with you. For me, though, I definitely feel more confident about taking the 49ers here on the spread. Just 7.5 feels like an egregious number. And yeah, I get it. They did dominate that last meeting. But, I mean, come on. Everything went wrong for the 49ers in that game. Like we talked about, just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And, I just have so many questions about Sam Darnold. He's not played well. Totally. It feels like since week 11, week 10. And now it's the biggest stage, the most pressure. And, I have tons of stats. I mean, Evan Abrams had a really great stat. It was basically teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that make the divisional round, and now they're their underdog, which is exactly what this Niners team is. They're 29-14 against the spread in this exact spot, so 67%, which just shows, like I talked last week, these certain teams get underrated by the public, and this fits that description, right? A team that didn't they get lucky against the Eagles? I think a lot of people have been thinking that way, and I also could see the Seahawks being a huge money line teaser play, right? I think that if 49ers can cover, I would honestly be shocked if they do win. This defense is so impressive, the Seahawks team. I do think it's going to be a lot to overcome, but 7.5 and a backdoor had always been a possibility with this Niners offense. I like that, especially where you go through it and it's, a Purdy against a Seahawks team, which I know people don't believe it, but in his career, he's kind of owned this team in this matchup on the road. Brock Purdy in his career, 4-0 against the spread, straight up against the Seattle team, winning by almost 10 points per game in this exact spot. So he's kind of been the owner of that stadium, the Seattle team, whether it's been Geno or McDonald coaching this team, right? He's done well against them on the road. And, the more I look into it, it's more like, okay, if this comes down, that would make more sense than ever getting up to 8.5. So to me, this is another one where it's like, you just got to grab the number. this feels like a game is going to close at 7, 6.5, right? It's just, I can't see this getting up to 8, 8.5. There's just nothing about this Seahawks team that I think is going to keep pushing this number up. And I just see the professionals and the public alike eventually coming on this Niners side because it's too many points. It just is way too many points. The third time these teams have met, right? Divisional teams playing for the third time. We know it's going to be a close game. I mean, we just saw that Bears-Green Bay game. These teams divisionally just play these insane close games, and that's what tends to happen. So I am shocked, honestly, the books open this much. And one more stat from our guy Evan that I loved. Divisional round, wild card round. Kyle Shanahan, his career is now 7-0 straight up, 6-1 against the spread. In the divisional round as an underdog, a road dog, he is 3-0 straight up in his career, Shanahan. So, I mean, if you want to sprinkle it on the Seahawks, I mean, the 49ers, I'm sure me and Chad will probably have that in our money line round robin, but this feels like it's going to break a lot of people's teasers and stuff like that. It's just, I think most people are counting out this 49ers team, and that's what the spread's reflecting.
Look, I think what I'm thinking about for the total lines up with what you're thinking about for the spread. To me, this is a 24-21 game, right? It's not going to be up and down, fast-paced, high-scoring. And if there's a big total, which you're getting over a touchdown, it is, that lends itself to a much closer game. So it would play into the theory that the Niners would cover in this game. So it could be interesting, Simon. We could make two of our picks off of the same game because we get a chance at the total and the spread. Interesting theory though on the Niners. It's interesting. Look, I would love nothing more if the Niners continue to advance and then lose to the Bears. But if I can't get the Bears in the Super Bowl, I'd really like the Niners because it's basically my only future left after everyone else has been bounced out. So
that's your dream scenario. If you're a Bears fan, you can get the Niners at home in late February, and when it's 1 degree out. Yeah.
Although to be honest, I've seen that movie. When the Bears had won the Super Bowl in the next year, I think it was the next year or the year after, we get the Niners in January in the NFC title game, and we lost like 27-3. I was at that game. It was cold.
Was that Joe Montana?
It must have been Montana. Yeah, it had to have been.
There you go.
Can't beat him. Sunday, January 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Houston is visiting the New England Patriots. The total is 3, or the spread is New England 3. Total is 41. It opened at 2.5. It's still at 2.5. A lot of books jumped up at Hard Rock. At this point, Simon, how much are we handicapping coaching in the playoffs? Because right now, no one is better at this than Mike Vrabel. Like, just nobody. The guy just has this team locked in and understands exactly what they're great at and then how to get the most out of them. Hard team to bet against right now.
Yeah, I hate this game because immediately it's like I feel like, again, if we were coming off a hot streak, I would be hammering this game. But Texans +3 and a total of 40. I could not believe the total was that high, or the Texans were +3. And this is a game I'll be patient on because we're so early in the week here. I don't need to make a play on it yet, but we just talked about Drake Maye. That Chargers team was going to be the best defense he had faced this season. You saw him struggle. The Texans are a level way above that Chargers team. This is another level we're going up here with this Texas team defensively. So as much as people are just crushing CJ coming off that game, we talked about that's the Pittsburgh voodoo, baby. That game was going just according to plan. A guy, I think they should have said he might have had 3 fumbles in his career and he had 2 in a quarter. That's just what happens when you get to Pittsburgh. I don't know if it's the same type of voodoo in the Patriots. And, if Christian Gonzalez is playing, if Nikos Collins is playing, okay, I guess they cancel each other out. They both might miss this game.
Yeah.
And if that's true, I think that favorites Houston, where you've seen Higgins, Christian Kirk. He can do it with these random receivers because the design of their play is they find these huge gaps, and that's what CJ's strength is, right? Pushing the ball downfield to these guys streaking wide open. And, the Patriots now lose their number 1 corner. I feel like that's a way bigger deal than them losing Nico Collins. I've just seen CJ be able to make other guys be number 1s, where Patriots defense, we've talked about it, Gonzalez shuts down half the field. He is exactly what you look for in a number 1 corner. So big injury watch here for both these teams. But yeah, the stats, people know it. I think we gave it last week. Drake Maye, New England as a favorite, 3 points or more. Drake Maye in his career, 11-0 straight up and 9-2 against the spread. And like we said before, that's against, we think, poor competition. We don't really buy into that. And, we ate it last week, but that was really about Herbert not showing up. I mean, his defense held them to 16 points. Herbert gave us a nothing burger. I don't see CJ having 2 really bad games in a row. And my fear is that I gave you out those numbers last week. CJ, that was his first road win. I think that was Houston's first win on the road, Texans, organizationally, right? That was the first time in, I think, 7 tries Houston had been on the road and they lost every time. They finally broke through. And I know they were a sleepy pick for a lot of people on Super Bowl run because of the defense. I think it's another spot here where it's like, okay, the better defense with the better quarterback is a dog. I mean, coaching level, I know we give a lot of props to Vrabel. I don't think he's that big of a gap. DeMeco Ryans is a genius to me, especially defensively. So, like I said, I'm not trying to fall into a trap here again because it's like I can't believe they're giving us +3. I want to talk to other pros, see what they're seeing here. But my early inclination is even I should say what I'm betting right now. I've already bet the +3 and I bet the under right away. But I will let you know on Thursday if I'm missing something here. And if I'm walking right into it once again. But I could not believe it. I couldn't believe they opened Houston at this big of a dog. It's to me 1.5, 2. That made sense here. So that's why I'm just not going to put a ton into it because I'm worried there's something I'm missing here. It feels too easy, Chad.
Yeah, I'm baffled by this line. I'm baffled by this game. It's a really hard one to figure out. What you just said about the Steelers, when CJ was throwing that interception again in the red zone towards the goal line, I was thinking to myself, this is classic Steelers football. Muck it up, muck it up, muck it up. Whatever Tomlin does, he's so patient as a coach. I think Vrabel's a brilliant coach too, but I don't know that the Patriots have the same defensive weapons across the board that the Steelers do. They were getting a really good pass rush on CJ that was screwing up a lot of what he was trying to do. Really tough game. I definitely like the under more than I like the side at this point. So I'm curious to see how the sharp calls go on Thursday, and we'll get a better sense of what people are saying about this game. Let's get a quick word from our friends at Hard Rock Bet. Today's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. With Miami making the national championship, Hard Rock Stadium will be rocking. And if you're going to the game, Hard Rock Bet is giving you a $10 bonus bet to get in on the action. If you're watching the game out in Miami, head to the Hard Rock Cafe Miami, Duffy's North Miami Beach, American Social Miami, and Batch Brickell. Hard Rock Bet is dropping $10 bonus bets there too. You can turn that free $10 bonus bet into a big win by placing the same game parlay, or even if you're just watching the game at home, there's still no better place to bet the natty than Hard Rock Bet because it's Florida Sportsbook. So they're going crazy with promos for this one. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet. And if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but also an extra $150 in bonus bets. Even if your team may be out of the playoffs, that doesn't mean you have to sit on the sidelines. Between same-game parlays, live betting, a can't-miss welcome offer, and new promos dropping every day, Hard Rock Bet has you covered all postseason long. That's Hard Rock Bet. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit today. The main event. The NFL knew. I knew when they were teasing at the end of the game last night what the schedule was going to be. They could have just said, whatever the schedule is, we know the Bears are going to be in the prime time Sunday spot because the country is enamored with Midwestern football right now. The country is enamored with the Chicago Bears. The country is loving the accents from Chicago, the kitsch of Chicago, the characters of Chicago, the way this team is lighting a fire under the city and connecting with the Windy City right now is amazing. They're 4-point home underdogs against the Los Angeles Rams. The total is 50.5. Stafford is going into the cold with a sprained finger. He said it's fine. The line moved from 4 to 3.5, back up to 4. the betting percentage is heavy on the Bears. So it's hard for me to know right now, Simon, is this wise guy money? Is it just the public coming in on the Bears? I feel like we've said this 13 times this season. Is it a sell high spot for the Bears? I don't know, man. I don't know. My inclination is honestly the Rams, because it just feels like when everything is zigging, we have to zag. But then I don't want that to be the reason why I'm doing it.
No, and I've had a couple people ask about should I just throw out my model in the playoffs, because it's like Moneyball. Is it built for the regular season? And I try to explain to them, no, I'm not picking the worst players at the cheapest price and trying to make it work. It's nothing like Moneyball. I should do well in the playoffs. That was a total outlier anomaly. This game scares the shit out of me, though, just because like last week I had the Rams as way big favorite. Same here. I have them at 7.5-point favorites here in the model. I'm like you. I don't feel that way at all. If this was 7.5, I'd be hammering the Bears.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And first glance at this number, it's like, well, the Bears, all their games are close. Whether they win or lose, they keep their games close. Like, shouldn't I just be grabbing this one? And we talk all the time about playoffs. You're looking for unique spots, and this defines as one. My first unique spot of the day. Bears, home underdog, wild card round, not divisional round. Do you remember the last time that happened, Chad?
No, I don't.
The Eagles. They beat Atlanta with Nick Foles, and they beat the Vikings, Case Keenum, at home. I mean, so that's what we're talking about historical here. Like these 1 seeds, these 2 seeds, they're just never home dogs in these rounds. And I if I was a Bears fan or a backer, it's like, well, good. No one believes in us. Unfortunately for you guys, Chad just told you everybody's believing you all the more, because we've all seen those numbers, the reports, right? It's supposed to be an Arctic freeze. I mean, Stafford, like you just said, on a bad finger and in the cold, hard to grip a ball already. Now with a bad finger, that has to be a big deal. So I am lost with this one. I will give you, unfortunately, another good Stafford stat. Stafford, unique in the sense that he has never lost a playoff game as a favorite in his career. So he's 4-0 in his career straight up as a favorite. That's going back to 2000. That's the best mark of any quarterback in the NFL. Like, no one's been better in the playoffs as a favorite than Stafford, which to me, when I looked that up, was shocking, because it's like we just think of him wasting 10 years in Detroit. And like that's all Rams numbers. So it just shows him and McVay as favorites. They've earned it, right? The books, they know what they do, give them that type of padding, especially like last week. That was crazy looking back that they were a 10.5-point favorite, but it's a tough one to get a read on. So, another game I'll be patient on the side and the total where, if it is an Arctic blast, if it is 0 degrees and they're hanging a 50, I mean, if we want to combat the magic that is Caleb Williams, maybe we just go the first half under, right? I mean, take under 26, get away from what we know Caleb can do, which is light a team up in the second half. And we've seen this Rams team, they give up big plays, just like we saw with Bryce Young.
Totally.
I mean, even against bad teams like Arizona, they had moments where they had wide open guys streaking out against them. They are susceptible. They don't have a good number 2 corner. So
they play with their food.
They do.
They just do.
Yeah, it's really a great number hung by the books. Because if they hung it too high, I think they would have been showing their hand here a little bit. I really think they hung a perfect number here. So Chad said, I think early money, public and professionals, they'll come in on the Bears. I think people like me that do want to take the Rams potentially, maybe I just see if I can get a 3 if the books are nice enough. But at the end of the day, if I can't do better than 3.5, I'll have to bite the bullet. But I honestly want to be on the Bears, but I'm just fine. Give me a reason. Give me a reason, please. I got to find it. I got to talk to some pros and see if there's smart reason to be on this Bears team other than what we just talked about, which is all their games are close. But this is at what point do they run into an actual legit contender, which is what this Rams team is. So it is tough for me right here. And I've also had a couple of people, what's it like backing teams off miracles? I went through it. There was not a lot. Like from my own personal experience, I just told you about that Vikings game. The Vikings, that was the Diggs against the Saints.
Yeah.
I guess there's a letdown after the miracle game, but
I don't think that's applicable for this team because every game is a miracle.
You can say that, Chad. You guys reacted like, holy shit, we just won the Super Bowl. I mean, let's be serious here. Come on.
Yeah, but we reacted the same way the other time we beat the Packers, and we've reacted the same way when we beat
your coach
the
wasn't
Raiders.
taking a shirt off and falling over himself on the field the last time he beat the Packers.
Oh, he got knocked down.
Yeah, he couldn't even
and he
walk
got back up again. Never
so
gonna let you down.
Like I said, I want to find a reason to buy this Bears team, but right now I am leaning heavy towards this Rams team.
Look, the total is ticked down from 52 to 50.5. I would grab that under. It's going to be.
Do you think it is going to be like the Arctic blast? What they're predicting?
I just looked at the weather right now. It's predicted to be a high of 18 and a low of 9.
Yeah, that's cold.
So
cold.
I would grab the under. That's the highest total we're seeing of the weekend so far. It's going to be a night game in Chicago. It is going to be bitter, ice cold. I would not be surprised. Definitely like the under in the first half. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna bet on when we get off this call.
Being conservative for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna grab that one too. But yeah, I don't know that we have a consensus on this one.
Again, these are good lines. Both those last two games are really, really tough lines.
All right. So right now, just to recap a little bit, Simon says was Denver +1. Grab it because it's going to flip to Denver -1. Chad is on the Panthers. I mean, not the Panthers, on the Seahawks and the Niners under 45.5. Simon also likes San Francisco +7.5. I think we're most tempted by unders right now in these games. We're going to need more conversation about Houston as an underdog and the Bears as an underdog.
And I'll try to find any trends if that holds true. I know wild card round, the trend is obviously the unders. I don't know about divisional round. I'll try to find out more info on that as well.
We're tempted by the Bears.
We love the unders, right? We're like 4-0 to the unders already this week.
We like the unders, and we like the under first half in the Bears Rams. So go grab that when you're done listening. Before we go, any initial bets on Indiana and Miami? The line opened 7.5. It's now up to 9. Indiana -9. In the national title game. Anything you're hearing? Anything you like?
Ooh, Kurt Signetti.
Nothing gets people excited like winning. It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
I mean, I'm a sucker for history, so I would say the pros obviously hammered the 7 when it opened. Not a shocker. The Hoosiers. Like you said, it's now moved almost 2 points at a couple books. It's popping 9. I'm going to take the adjusted line. Like I've already bet the -13.5 on the Hoosiers. It just feels like if they're going to win this game, it's just what they've been doing. They're going to roll and blow out this team. And I'm sorry to say, Chad, I'm definitely throwing a bet on the Hurricanes money line. Like this is David and Goliath, and which is crazy to think, but you guys are going for, is it 17-0 or 16-0?
16-0.
Never been done. So they are going after history with a quarterback that, playing at the highest level you can imagine. I know the comp for him is Sam Bradford. He's Sam Bradford with 25 pounds of muscle and much wider shoulders. Like I'm falling in love with Mendoza, kid. So it's tough for me to say the Hurricane things, but I think you're the same way. We've all seen this movie before, right? So
yes.
Can they live up to the moment against the best D-line they're going to face all season? Yeah, I'm excited for our Thursday show, hear what the pros are saying. But from the pros I've heard, they're the guys who have hammered this Hoosiers team. They've been on it all playoff run. They've been on this team, and they love them. And there's other pros who are just laying in the grass waiting. Give us the 10 on the Hurricanes. That's what they're all saying. They said, let the public keep betting this up. Let all the parlays and the teasers from Sunday and Saturday tie in with the Hoosiers money line. Get this up to 10. So every pro I know that likes the Hurricanes are being super patient, and they're like me. It's like, at what point do you have to go the other side? But like I said, if the Hoosiers win this game, it feels like they roll and they blow out. They're just not a team that plays with their food like we've talked about the other teams. They roll you, they dominate you, and they put their full weight on you. So great number by the books.
Every time they have the ball at 0-0. Every single time.
That's so true.
That's the Signetti way. All right, this has been Sharper Square, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We will be back on Thursday with more of the sides, more of the totals that we're finally zeroing in on. We'll do our head-to-head battle, brass ball, so much more. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharper Square. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Also, download us from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars. Say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Until next time. Love you.
The road to the Super Bowl filled with unexpected twists and turns, detours, and shattering collisions. But the final prize makes the trip worthwhile.